The following revealing interview was aired on the national BBC News at 6 o'clock in the United Kingdom on the 9th of November 2017.
Our Midlands correspondent Katir has been looking at the impact of the Prevent strategy.
5 terror attacks in Britain just this year alone. Preventing any further attacks is a top priority for the government. That's why it has something called Channel, a programme designed to stop people from being drawn into violent or extremist behaviour. Salman, not his real name, was radicalised in prison. By the time he was released just months ago, he was ready to go to Syria to become a suicide bomber. His words have been voiced by an actor to protect his identity.
I was told that I would get all my sins washed away. The only way to do it is to become a martyr and everything will be forgiven, and you will go to heaven. To me, it was the easy way out, just to kill myself and blow somebody up. If you believe in something, you'll do anything.
He's now changed his views, but he's the kind of person the government wants to help.
Here is an analysis of that interview. A series of 4 coordinated attacks by Islamic terrorists took place on the 11th of September 2001 in the USA. It is known as 9/11, the day that changed the world. Ever since that fateful date, Western governments and mainstream media have generally been telling the public a very similar story to explain the cause of the original 9/11 tragedy. It was summarized in that BBC interview as, Muslims who join the Islamic State are described as radicalized Islamist terrorists, non-Muslims, Muslims whose views have to be changed. The entire UK counter-terrorism strategy is based on what is hereby proven to be a totally false assumption. You will find all the evidence with links to the sources mentioned in the description below this video. Salman and countless other Muslims are not only told by so-called radical Muslims to get all their sins washed away and go to heaven by becoming a martyr. The Quran itself says the same in Surah 3 verse 169. It reads, "Do not think that those who are killed in the cause of God are dead, but rather, they are alive at their Lord, being provided for." According to Muslim commentators, this verse just means what it clearly says. That is exactly how it is promoted by the Islamic State group. Those who are killed fighting for Allah are directly going to paradise, having had all their sins forgiven. What happens to all other Muslims is up to the will of Allah and the interpretation of various Muslim groups. They will have to endure trial of death angels and of al-barzakh, Arabic for separation, or barrier, until the resurrection and judgment day. They will either see hell while crossing a bridge over it, or going to hell for some time to suffer punishment for their sins. This depends on whether their good deeds outweigh their bad ones. Little wonder that many Muslims choose the only direct and clear way to paradise offered in Islam. This is especially the case in today's world of instant gratification and results. Unless Muslims in the West acknowledge that the main problem is found in the pages of the Quran, any counter-terrorism strategy is doomed to fail. UK's 9/11 has the potential to be far worse than the first 9/11. Please help to prevent this tragedy by sharing this video. There is nothing more frightful than ignorance in action. Goethe. Warning 1. To Muslims who are considering joining jihad after watching this video, please do not even think about it. Here is why. The Quran is not trustworthy because there are at least 26 different Arabic versions of it. They do not just consist of different readings but contain different Arabic words. In some cases they actually change the meaning of the text. For more details please Google videos for the phrase, 26 different Arabic Qurans destroy the myth of one Quran. Starting from 1.27 hours one can see the written evidence for this claim. The Quran is not trustworthy because it contains scientific mistakes. Search for the phrase, "Are there scientific mistakes in the Quran?" by Dr. David Wood, in Google videos. The Quran is not trustworthy because it contains contradictions. Search for the phrase, "contradictions in the Quran, Quran errors," in Google videos. The Quran is not trustworthy because it contains grammatical errors. Search for the phrase, Zakaria Botteres, grammatical errors in the Quran. In Google videos. The Quran is not trustworthy because it contains historical errors. Search for the phrase, are there historical mistakes in the Quran? Dr. David Wood, in Google videos. The Quran is not trustworthy because the life and actions of Muhammad were not as perfect as Muslims are being told. Search for the phrases, Islam Facts versus Fiction Part 2 Muhammad, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And, Islam, the Violent Life of Muhammad, in Google videos. Warning 2. To Muslims who are considering leaving Islam and becoming agnostics or atheists after watching all this evidence, please do not even think about becoming godless. Here is why. There is no doubt that God does indeed exist. Evidence for him abounds and can be found on links like the ones mentioned in the description below this video. The Quran contains some truth. Since all truth is God's truth, the following truths in it can be confirmed. The Torah, Zabur and Injil, Bible, are from God. They have not changed. Search for the phrase, Quran confirms, Injil unchanged in Google videos. Therefore, the Bible is to be followed with confidence. It can be summarized as, God is just and loves us. We have all messed up and are separated from him. Religion and good deeds are not the answer. Jesus is. He wants to take our punishment. Turn around, believe and follow him. Passages in the Quran that point towards this unique truth can be found by searching for the phrase, why is the Injil called good news? In Google, only those who follow Jesus according to the Bible, are guaranteed to go to heaven after they die. Out of thankfulness, true followers of Jesus Christ, may his peace be upon us, are prepared to give their lives so that others may find eternal life too. This is in total opposite to the teaching of the Quran, where only those who take the lives of so-called unbelievers in jihad are promised to go to paradise directly.